Another resource this publisher has given us is those same multimedia files, but in this form they are called podcasts, which isn't entirely accurate. Basically, that's their way of referring to these MP4 video files. Unfortunately, they're not listed in a standard podcast format. They should be in some kind of feed that you could do through iTunes. They're individual zip files. So for example, a day in the life of a network technician, we click on it and it actually has us download a zip file, which is a movie. These are substantial, so I wouldn't want to upload them all to my course, but the fact that they give them to me in this format means I might as well share it with the students. So I'll copy that link. Notice that they're simply listed alphabetically. So if we go back to the course, I have, for example, the history of the PC, and then I look here, and the history of the PC is alphabetized under THE. These are not organized by chapter. So not really sensical, but I might as well provide a link to them, and I would just let my students know that these are available. And I don't really want this to be in the middle of the course. If somebody has an issue or they're using an iPod or something and they really want those MP4 files, that's available. So I'll probably put it down at the bottom of the course. So we'll go to week 18, which, as you may remember, is things you use throughout the class. And I'll add a resource and insert a label. It says link to downloadable videos of soundbite files, MP4s, right? And I'll just make that like that. Click here, paste the URL, have it open in a new window, and OK. And now we have that. So this almost covers everything except well, actually this covers all the resources that the students will use. But it doesn't, we haven't yet put in the tests, and we haven't yet gone in and done the assignments and things like that. But now you're starting to see how the section is shaping up pretty nicely. We can actually get rid of this placeholder because we don't need that. We'll delete it. And the question is, do we want to do any further division? It's a little bit confusing because both of these are essentially the same thing, but their format looks significantly different to the student. So my gut is to go with the first format. So we'll take this one, the history of the PC. We'll copy that address, and instead we'll turn it into a resource just like we did with the other one. Or I'll just do it the way I did before. So we go back to those files, history of the PC. So I copy this text. I'll go back to Moodle, link to a file or website, paste there, i.e. gives me the warning, paste the URL here. Actually, I can't do it. I've got to go get the actual URL. Got to remember that. So I open up the file, swipe the URL from that, close it, go back, paste that here, and then I'll do my other settings, which is a new window, take away these options, and if I recall, I wanted it to be just a tiny bit bigger. So the window height, I'm going to be safe, and I'll call it 480. And then we save and return it, and if I've done this right, I'm going to go ahead and move it up next to the other one. I'll indent it to match. I'll delete this one. And make sure it looks good. Sure enough, it does. And notice no scrolling because I've sized it well. And these are not indenting consistently, so I want them to go together. There we go. And one thing I might also want to consider is how to show that these are both soundbite files. I may put a horizontal rule or something like that. I'm going to have to think about how I want to do that and then go from there. Thank you.